Hello, I'm CJ Wellerman, and in this episode we reveal how Israel's genocidal activities in Gaza are inextricably tied to Israel's unique enthusiasm for sexual violence. But first, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. Thanks to a new report by the Associated Press, the world now knows that almost everything Israel has said about October 7th is a fabricated and concocted lie, meant only to provide the Zionist state political cover for its atrocities in Gaza. Tragically, however, these lies perform their intended job, because bogus allegations of Hamas mass raping Israeli women ran 24/7 around the world for months on end, which in turn juiced America and Europe's tolerance for Israel's campaign of terror in Gaza and the West Bank. Which means every major news publication that laundered these lies has the blood of murdered Palestinian children on their hands. The New York Times, BBC, CNN, and all the rest are now complicit in genocide. And this moral stain should follow every editor and publisher to his grave. For they have fallen for a trick Zionists learnt from the Nazis: to accuse your enemy of the very thing that you're guilty of doing to him. In other words, every Zionist allegation is a confession of wrongdoing. And in this case, no country is more guilty of sexual violence and criminality than the state of Israel. In fact, the Jewish state has been widely described a safe haven for pedophiles, having enacted laws that allow Jewish sex offenders to live freely in the occupied Palestinian territories, where they are free to commit their evil deeds. Even the right-wing Jerusalem Post agrees with this damning indictment, as does an English-speaking Israeli television network.
First of all, I'm very sad to say, but Israel is a country which has a pandemic of sexual violence. You can ask various questions why. Some of them can be answered as being a very conservative society. Still, parts of the country are conservative. We are a militaristic society, and that influences the way men treat women. And
more than 250 women are raped every day in a country whose total population is less than 9 million people, making Israel officially the rape capital of the Middle East, with the Palestinians, of course, their biggest victim. The data tells a shocking story, with underage girls accounting for nearly 50% of reported sexual abuse cases, while 92% of rape investigations are closed without charges laid, and as 75% of convicted sex offenders are released from prison early. Zionism is to blame for this sickness, a depravity that has perverted every level of Israeli society, especially among the country's armed forces, as witnessed in Gaza for the past 8 months. While committing genocide and killing more than 10,000 women, Israeli soldiers have routinely dressed in the clothing of their female victims and then proudly shared the pictures with friends and family members on social media. Because for Zionists, this is totally normal and acceptable behavior. Here, 2 soldiers pose for the camera as they sit in the bed of a young girl they had killed earlier that same day, while their comrades rummage through the bedrooms of Palestinian women in search of their underwear and personal items.
דבר ראשון.
ממצא ראשון.
יפה.
או-אה.
ממצא שני.
גול נפש, מחבלים ארורים.
לבן, כמו שצריך.
מחבלים ארורים.
ממש, כותנה, כמו שצריך. מוכן.
החבר'ה פה, כמו שאתם רואים, שבוזים מהממצאים.
מה שהם מצאו.
חבר'ה, תהיו רגועים. אל תדאגו, שומרים עליכם.
אוקיי.